Brothers, it's Clipper King returning for a little bit of a project video this afternoon. I don't know how long this is going to take me, but I really want to try something. Anybody who watches my channel religiously will know that I've recently done the full review on the battling version of the Civil War Captain America. And then today I've done a short music video using that figure, and then a comparison, the Civil War version against the Age of Ultron version. Now, somebody's asked me in the comments, do I know which version I'm keeping? I pretty much knew before I bought it that the Civil War one would have to be totally amazing for me to keep it over the Age of Ultron. I just prefer the suit, I like the colours it's made up of, I like the vibrant colours, and I thought unless the Civil War one blows my mind in every category, then I'm keeping the Age of Ultron one, and that is what I've done. The Civil War one is sold to a guy in the UK. I'm not going to mention his name in case he don't want me to, but I have sold that. I know that's the harder figure to find, and that's the one that would make me most money over time, but I thought, no, I'm sticking to the one I like, which is the Age of Ultron. Now, you can see here the piece of the Age of Ultron. When I realised I were keeping this, I've boxed the other one up, that's ready to sell, it will ship tomorrow. I thought, why is the articulation better on the new one? Why will the arms go flush to his side? Why can you get a better range of motion through the abdominal section? Why are his legs slightly better articulated than this one? And I thought, I'm going to split it down and have a look. Most of you guys will remember, I pretty much went through the strike suit version, cut off the bodysuit, which is here, stripped it right down, tried to make it more articulated than it came, than the state it came in, and I did do that. I've recently sold, well, not recently, I then sold the strike suit version, but I never messed with this one because I always thought I might only keep it till the next one comes. But I think it's a case that there's nothing I can do to it that's really going to harm it anyway, and it would be an interesting video just to show what this figure is made up of. So, first things first, let's look at the body. It is the long ankle peg with a foam around. It does have the double bend knee, so it should be articulated through the legs. Good range of motion at the upper leg, so again it should be articulated through there. I've realised that it does have good rotation. In fact, I might need to put this, look, good crunch, good back. There is rotation through the waist, which is good also. Now the point is, a lot of this doesn't act like this when the suit's on it. The arm will go flush to his side. It is a double bend elbow. You see the really strong magnet on the side of the arm, which is what strongly holds the shield, which I do love about it. So that's how that works. Take that back off. There is a full range of motion through the shoulders, up, good rotation, everything you can think of. Really good body underneath there. It has got a chest expander and thigh expanders on. So what I've realised by stripping it down is none of the problems come from the body. So if it's not the body, then what is it? Is it the layer on layer? Because you actually get this layer, which is a fat suit. You then get this rubberized sort of sweatshirt. Now I think this might be where the problems come from, because even just holding it or putting it there, if you try to push the arms in, it will just pop back out, simply because there's not much space between the top of the rubberized suit. I will say as well, put my finger inside, the suit is not as bulky as you would think it were. It is made up of layer on layer, but I'm sure that that's not really what's affecting the fact that it won't go sort of arm to side. So I'm thinking it's more to do with that. Also, if we just look here, sort of the vest section that goes on top of that, and is a bitch to get on and off, and then that zips up the back. It does have the magnet sections, which are really strong magnets as well, which do hold the suit. So you've got a magnet in there, one in there, and then it does zip up the back, and the clasp goes under the crotch. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this inside out, because I want to actually make a point with this. Right, so I've just rolled that inside out, which is quite easy to do, and the reason I've done that is I want to show you this. Inside here you have these 4 sections of sponge. It's like cut up sponge. Now I think that this is supposed to make the big looking chest, and probably the reason the Civil War version looks like it has a fuller chest than this is because when I've opened this, I don't know if it was done when it came from the factory or if it's done over time, but the pieces are just totally in the wrong place. I don't understand why there's even glue here and here, because he wouldn't need a big rib cage section. There is that one in place. I think that is the lower left pec when it's on, and then the only piece that's like that is that one. So I think that that one actually goes there, and then that one's supposed to turn and go to the top section of his chest, some silverback action, and this piece is supposed to go there to make up like a square formation on his chest, which on top of the fat suit there and also the chest expander that he's wearing, I think will give him a fuller chest when he's got the suit on. Also, I think by taking these two off, it will slim him down through the body and give him a very definite V shape. So that is what I'm thinking about. Now this is, so around this sleeve, it actually feels that thick that it feels like there's a wire inside it. Now, I don't think there is, because there'd be no need to. I just think it's where all the different layers and folds all sort of meet up and then it's being stitched together. So that might be what hinders the shoulder articulation, or the fact that the arm won't go to the side. But I'm going to have a look at that. Just moving on to the trousers. It's just Velcro down the front and then just a simple trouser. The trousers aren't too tight. Looking at the back, they have the press studs where it holds the belt in place, and then the drawstrings at the bottom, which are tied really tight around the ankle pegs so the trousers don't keep pulling up. So looking at those, I've also tried to, if he was dressed, would the trouser hinder his legs? Now, I think the legs on this figure are strong enough to still get articulation even wearing these, because that plastic section or rubberized section down the front where my thumb is not that restrictive, in all honesty. So I don't think any of the articulation restriction comes from that. I think it might be more a case of this piece over the pocket, because the pocket becomes very firm. So it might be that. And then obviously you've got your boots, you've got your shoulder harness, you've got your belt, obviously your head, and a couple of hands. Now, I think what I'm going to do is, when I first looked at this and I realised the body were okay, I thought, I think the best thing here might be, again, to remove the fat suit. And then I thought, do I want to do that? Because I still want the full chest, but I want the slim waist. So then I thought, if I pull the fat suit in and either tape it, it'd save me cutting it. And then I thought to myself, or would it be better to sort of cut the fat suit around where the abdominal crunch is, which would then give him a full rib cage and pecs, but then nothing there that would hinder the rotation, articulation, the side to side crunch, the forward and back crunch. I hope you can see that I'm moving the figure around. I'm doing it left-handed. So I'm thinking I can actually just cut under that, leave it like a sort of a short vest, remove this section, but then I'm thinking, is that going to push up? I don't think it will, and the reason I don't think it will is obviously it's not going to go up over the sleeve holes, and also when it's wearing this inside, then I think that will keep it in place as well. So I'm thinking about doing that. Now, I think the fact that the arms don't go down by his side are down to this. I think the neck hole is too small. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to nick that about 1 centimetre down on the front and back, so that when you push the arms in, the restrictive rubber section down the middle won't restrict it, because it'll be like a slash crop or v-neck t-shirt, so to speak. So there will be more articulation in it. Again, I thought with this, would it be better off sort of cutting it off halfway so it's only holding the sleeves on? But I thought there might not be no need, because it's not that thick. I just think that because of the holes so small at the top, that's what's restricting the articulation. So I'll say I'm going to cut a V into that, I think. Same on the back, and then put that back on. Here, I'm going to build up a chest section inside by removing that one, and that one, and I'm going to make the pad will go there, above there, and above there, and then obviously on top of that, it should give him a fuller chest. That is what I'm going to do. Like I said, it won't hurt the figure at all. It's all pretty easy to do. I think the hardest thing will be redressing it. So I'll cut back in when I do anything of interest. Right. I've just made 3 quick alterations. I've moved the padding round. I've made it symmetrical. So as you see, got the lower pec either side, then the upper chest either side. That should keep his chest nice and bulky. On the undershirt, I've opened the neck right up, so when the arm pulls down to his side, it should give it enough room to open across his shoulders. That's what I'm hoping for. And then with the fat suit, I cut it underneath there, and then I've shaped it sort of around his rib cage. So now I can rotate it above the abs, which hopefully we'll still be able to do when he's fully clothed. So what I'm going to try and do now, I'm going to get his upper clothes back on and see if it has solved the problem what's stopping the arms coming to the side of the ribs. Right, so far so good. So I've got the undershirt on and the sleeves. Bit of a bitch to get back on, but easier to get on than it were to get off, simply because it's opened up at the top now. Excuse me. So now just got to turn the vest back the correct way around, make sure the parts are glued in place properly, get that on and see if that is what restricts the underarm articulation. Great, so I've done and reassembled it. So let's talk through what I've done. As I move up, see the arms are much closer to the body. I will say it were a bit of a bitch to get it back together because the vest zip just wouldn't pull him in. So every time I got him nice and tight, I wanted him, the zip were popping open. I went up and down about 5 times. I'm thinking, what can I get to pull this suit right in at the sides, which has got that tapered, in fact, if we take a shirt off his back, got the tapered effect into his waist. So he's got a nice V about him, and his arms nice and close by his side. I'm going to test the articulation in a minute. But what I actually did is, I cut the zip out because it was just fucking pissing me off. It's nowhere near strong enough to pull in a garment like this. Every time I got close to getting it nice and tight, that just popped off. So I thought, fuck all that. Pulled it off and put some nice strong Velcro down his back. So now I can pull it in as tight as I want. So that is what I did. Went straight down the back with the Velcro. Obviously the parts I removed, it's does go closer in to the side. Now I can feel that his arms are touching his side now, so it's not like he's got 2 rolls of carpet under his arm anymore. His legs have gone together nice and close, as you can see. The padding stayed where it should be on his chest, so let's test his depth. Not too noticeable on the depth, if I'm honest, but I think the arm articulation should be better. So some of the padding, obviously it had the fat suit around the arse, so some of that has gone, but it didn't have a real arse anyway. Pull the trousers up nice and tight. So I'm looking around, I'm testing him in a few more articulated poses, see if he will hold them. So I will say a little bit better articulation through the shoulders, as you can see. The legs still at top aren't going to go up really high, and I always fear that the pad's going to come off when you bend the leg too much on this one anyway. We've got the arms a lot higher. The arms will go straight up now actually. We've got a nice bend through the arms. Again, it's not really a figure I pose, I just wanted it so I could get the arms closer into the side, which I've been able to do. So, were it worth doing it? It probably took me an hour, 2 hours to do. It was good to start with. I think it has took the arms in a little bit closer. The articulation is a tiny bit better, not noticeably so if I'm honest. But I think it will make a more natural museum style pose. So I'll get it back into that. I'll just show you that before we cut away. So just to finish off, I've got him on a shelf. He don't really belong on. I thought best with the lighting. For a pose like that. Just got the helmet between his legs, like so. So pretty museum. The arms are definitely closer into the rib cage, I think you'll agree, but it still looks nice and square shouldered. Just got the fists on, looking fucking beautiful. So another video, hope you found that interesting, even if you don't decide to do it yourself. But like I said, hope you've enjoyed it. But for now, it's the Clipper King, and I'm out of here.